5 years ago, we looked at the emerging trends. As a CTO, I look at emerging trends, and cloud computing, the experiment, was a big emerging trend that looked like it was going to be possible. So what we did is we prototyped, and one lesson learned immediately was that prototyping with our own data was a really good idea. We prototyped with non-sensitive data, data that could be shared with the public, in fact, games and public outreach site. And then we were able to take it all the way through from inception through procurement, legal, etc. And the other lesson learned was the technology was not that difficult. We had some very smart people, especially as we partner with the missions at JPL. So the smart people were able to put the technology together, but trying to get the legal and the contracts and all of those pieces together was very difficult. The cloud 5 years ago was all about a person with a credit card. Well, we're an enterprise, and we work very differently. So we partnered also with the vendors, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, and all the other ones, the commercial vendors. And we were able to figure out how to get the contracts done. And that was a really big epiphany. So another lesson learned here was to create what we call a cloud computing commodity board. The emphasis on commodity is that you are now able to treat computing and storage like you treat electricity or water. So we have several a short list of vendors where we can buy from, not having to create an individual contract every time. So the big lesson learned was the softer parts, the legal contract and all that, took a lot more effort than we thought. So what we were able to do is to prototype on public data and then go towards more sensitive mission-critical data. So lesson learned here is to treat IT not as information technology, but as innovating together. Innovating together with the missions, that's the business of JPL, but also innovating together with the vendors. So being able to use your own data and share the stories and try it. If it works, it's great. If it doesn't work, that is also great because you learned something, but on non-mission critical data. The next lesson learned was to not take your legacy data and put it all in the cloud, because legacy means lots of years of experience and very important. Instead, take something new. So we experimented with mobile applications and things that weren't that were in the queue and would have to wait for IT people. So try something new, try something mobile, run the computing and the storage in the cloud, but visualize it on the new exciting mobile devices. So those are really key. Another lesson learned was we did not look for return on investment, because you don't get the investment unless you have somebody's attention. Somebody's attention that's a customer. So a business that is critical and who's interested in it. So we measure return on attention. And we have a little equation. Return on attention plus return on attention equals return on investment, because at that point you will get the investment. And I would say the last lesson learned is to get in and mix it up and try it. Don't wait. Don't stand on the sidelines, because at some point you have to try it, and you don't want to start with the most mission-critical data. Then the final lesson learned is this is the era of big data and analytics, and the cloud is a wonderful enabler of all of that.